to start? Winter retreat. Okay, winter retreat was amazing. It was like, I had went to fall retreat. I went to fall retreat, and I was kind of like, kind of in the background, and then I think the last night was amazing, and then I went to winter retreat, and I came back, and I just felt like so refreshed, like, oh my God, I'm never going to sing again, but like, but stuff happens. But yeah, I thought it was amazing. The last day, Monday morning, there was someone from Hawaii. She was praying for me, and
yeah, Hawaii was at the retreat. I think that was pretty cool.
And she was saying some pretty hard stuff, and she was like right on point, like saying, who is this woman that's praying for me that knows, that's certain stuff, and she's just like, God knows that you're holding all this in and you need to let it out, and I'm just like, no, why? I don't want to let it out, and she just kept saying it over and over again. So what's the will? I didn't nearly say as excited as he said.
I say everything a little more exciting.
Yeah.
That's my personality.
I was just like, well,
we got midterms back today, yeah!
I gotta tell you something. Yeah, what's up? I'm like, I have to share my story. He's like, wait, what? I have to share my story. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, he was really excited. More excited than me. And it's just a calling. So.
Tell us about your story.
I am.
I'm excited here.
I'm getting to it. So, let me just start off with Jesus. Okay. I took some notes because it's a pretty bit long story. So, as a child, I was always really confused, just with the concept of there being a God or a Jesus, someone that you can pray to, and maybe he'll solve all your problems, or ask him for something and you'll get it, and it was just very confusing to me. And one of the main reasons why it was confusing to me when I was little is because when I was little, I was physically abused by my mother on a daily basis. So when you're physically abused to the point where you can hardly stand every day, it's really hard. It's really hard.
You're good. You're good.
Really hard.
I'm here to support you.
So what I thought was prayer was, please God, maybe my mom will be in a good mood today. Maybe, I won't, drop my cereal in the morning and she won't hit me for it. And I was confused because the most popular item that she would hit us with was this big, humongous book, and it was the Bible, okay? So
that's confusing.
Very. Oh my gosh. So I don't know. One time, I helped my brother with his homework, and even I got some wrong on his homework, and he's younger than me. And she found out that I had helped him, and I could just remember, because she just, Jennifer, go get the book. So we would go, have to get it ourselves, walk it to her, and then, let her wail on us. And it was really hard. It was one of the hardest things. And we used to get beat over and over and over again with anything that she can find in her hand, a whip, a belt. Man, if you're outside, you better watch out for the sticks, because those hurt the worst. But, so that was very confusing to me. A little light came. My mom and my dad were very abusive towards each other as well. So our neighbors kind of cut on to that, and somehow the social services got involved, and we were taken out of our parents' care. So some might think that sounds really bad, but to us it was a light. We got to go to this new family who hopefully wouldn't beat us, and wouldn't, just tell us we were, below, like, dirt. And so, but when we went to this foster home, little did we know that their children were just as bad as my mom. So, again, we would be fighting with their kids, and just like they would beat us up, and it was just horrible. Foster care was horrible. I mean, there's some good foster care,
sure,
but
of course.
The one I went to was just horrible. So one day, I remember our foster parents told us, you know what, we just don't want to deal with you guys anymore. And it was me, my brother, my twin brother, and my older sister. Now, there are 7 of us kids, by the way.
You got pictures of your family, right? You got the,
Right.
Yeah, there's my family. Yeah.
That's me and my twin brother and me and my little sister, my little brother, and my sisters, and that's my brother Brandon, and my little brother.
Lots of brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, so that happened, and one day, they, you know, we just don't want to deal with you, and court got involved, and we were happy because we got to see our great-grandmother. She was there, and she was going to be our new guardian, and that was, like, so good, like, amazing to us, because we were like, oh, you know, someone we know, we don't have to sleep with these strangers. And let me just tell you, the last day was our revenge day for the other kids. We beat the living crap out of them. I'm not even kidding. Those kids, we beat them.
All right, let's jump into it. Tell us about when you got into high school. Tell us a little more about that. So, anything else from your childhood you wanted to share? This is your first time sharing in public your story, by the way. She's doing a great job.
Very hard. No, well, my dad, so where's my dad? You know, probably people are asking, where's your dad and all this. Well, ironically, like, my dad is like my best friend, like my best friend in the whole wide world, and I can tell him anything. Well, my dad was the biggest drug dealer in North Hollywood. So he was on the news, top 10 most wanted, you know, like the biggest drug dealer, and it was so hard because sometimes he would come home bleeding, or come home and, you know, be just drunk all over the floor, and it was really hard. And, you know, as a child, like, I always wanted to take care of him because my mom, you know, was too busy probably beating on one of us somewhere else, and it was really hard. So that happened, and I guess the last straw for my dad is when my little brother Brandon, he was at school, and he cursed a girl out, and the only way he knows, you know, he learned those bad words was from my mother, because she would just cuss that out all the time. And he came home and he was crying, and my mom wasn't there, and I was, you know, okay, and Dad said, tell Dad, don't tell Mom. So he tells Dad, and Dad's like, okay, I'll save the note, I'll sign it, and take it back to you tomorrow. But my dad left the note on the counter. So my mom saw the note, and she was so angry that she just started hitting him in his face, and he was bleeding, and it was just horrible. It was just really horrible. And my dad was like, you know what, this is the last straw. And he took pictures, and it was just, we had to go like through a series of court dates, and, you know, sofa search with different family members just to, you know, it was just really hard. And
Your dad ended up going to jail.
my dad was always in and out of jail. We were finally living with him without my mother. She was, we got taken out of her care again, and we were just living with my dad, and life was good. Life was good. It was, you know, we would have fun, go to school, come back, play tag, you know, my dad liked to do that stuff. And then it was Brandon's birthday. Brandon, by the way, he has a heart transplant. He was born with half a heart. And so he got a heart transplant, and he got lymphoma cancer. He went through chemo, and he's a miracle baby. But he's a brat.
Yeah, all our miracles too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You're here in front of us, Jane. Tell your story.
Yeah.
So when you got into high school, that was kind of like the time where you excelled.
Oh yeah, high school. I guess just we returned back into my mother's care. After she took like several anger management classes and all this, you know, just classes. She would be my person, and I love her to death now. She's like calls me every day, so it's a good change for her.
Good, praise God.
Yeah. So in high school, I just never wanted to be home, never. So I was at school 24/7. Like if I wasn't at school, like I bet you every single one of the person at my school was at that time. So.
A few people are here from your school, right?
Right here, my roommate Charlie and Harry. So really, I was